All right. Here we are with another episode of Seeing the Win Live. And we have here a beautiful and wonderful person, Cassie Barr. Amazing. So thankful for you joining our podcast. And just to let you know, I am so in awe of her. I heard her speak in Lake Tahoe with a mastermind in front of hundreds of people, and she just shined. And it's amazing. So I'm glad that you're here with us, Cassie. So thank you again for joining.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. So we're just going to dive right in. So you must be a realtor that's been doing it forever, right? 30, 40, 50 years. Is that right?
Oh, no. 4 years.
4 years. And yet her and her team did over 100 transactions last year. So if you guys want to find out, stay tuned. Hear Cassie out. She has an amazing story. And can you just share a little bit about, what got you into the industry and how you got started?
Yeah. So when I was right out of high school, I was a veterinary technician, going to school to be a pediatric nurse. Totally didn't do that. Ended up getting married, had some kids, stayed home with my kids until they were kindergarten, started working again as a veterinary technician. And I ended up getting a divorce. And in the divorce process, I realized, gosh, I need to be financially stable. I can't do this and rely on somebody to keep my financial status going. I need to rely on myself. So I went through a lot of soul searching and a lot of just digging deep into what I want and who I want to be throughout my divorce. And I decided I want to be a strong, independent, successful woman. Those are the mantras I said every day. That's what I wanted to be. I ended up getting married again, and my current husband, I ended up working for him. He saw how upset I was with my current job and how it was just not healthy environment for me. He said, well, he owned a logging business. He said, hey, just jump in, help me out. Why don't you just work my business with me? So I did. I decided to do that, but I told him when I first started that, I am going to find my own career. This is not my career. This is a stepping stone to my career. So he said, yep, that's fine. And at that point I decided, okay, I'll work towards getting my real estate license. 4 years later, I still hadn't gotten my real estate license. So, so I ended up, he got cancer and was going through chemo and radiation, and it was horrible. But in that time frame, while he was doing that, I was studying, getting my license, took the test right before he started his treatments. So took the test, passed the test. As soon as he was out of treatment, that next January 1st, I started working real estate. So 2000, I think when I was 19 that I started selling.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I went with my real estate, how I got involved with real estate, kind of out of desperation and inspiration at the same time. So
No, because a lot of us, are in similar situations, right, Cassie? Is that, I'm not sure if we're stuck. Can you still hear me, Cassie?
oh, there you are. Sorry.
Okay. No worries. Yeah, we're so dependent on the internet, right?
Yeah. It's always bad here.
No, I hear you too, because your story is it's amazing because you hit a certain point where it's like enough is enough, right? It's like you wanted to be that strong, independent, that woman that did not have to rely on anyone, to get to where you're going. And I love that mantra that you're mentioning. So, what was that conversation like, with you every morning? What did you have to tell yourself?
Pretty much I just kept stating that I'm a strong, independent, successful woman. I just kind of told myself that every day. And throughout my learning real estate, you just have to be open to learning everything. You have to be open to knowing everything. If you block yourself off and say, I can't do this, I'm not going to do this, and that's what you're going to end up with. Can't and not. So I was just positive through the whole thing. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to be successful. And I did. I pushed through every day.
Yeah.
My broker at that time, he asked me, well, what's your goal? What's your goal this year? And I think I said, I was at 50,000. I want to do 50,000 this year. That was my goal, 50,000. And
Was this your first year in real estate?
my first year. And he laughs at me. He goes, that's not going to happen. He did. He laughed at me. I'm like, yeah, it is. It totally is going to happen. And within I think probably the first 6 months, I'm like, hey, here you go. I made it. And now I'm going to double it. And I did. I doubled it, I think, in my first year.
Wow, that's amazing. From going from no experience, and then of course having that conversation with your broker, and your broker laughs at you. That's amazing, because you did in spite of that, right? All this negative self-talk, but you knew what kind of person that you are. You're that strong, inspirational and successful businesswoman that you are, and you knew it, and you had to be able to envision that. So can you share with me just a little bit about that vision that you had? How did you perceive yourself, and what made you just like, hey, broker, 50,000, I got you. I'm going to double that. What made you do what you do?
Well, obviously, when somebody says you can't do something, you're going to work harder to make it happen, right? Where we live, tiny rural community. So honestly, I think what it was is new, fresh blood coming into our community as far as agents go. Hey, I'm here, I'm vibrant, I'm on the internet, come work with me. And I think people saw that I was actually moving and shaking and doing things.
So you're a disruptor. So
yeah,
definitely. So actually, could you share with our audience wise, where are you actually from?
So we're in Plumas County, California, rural Northern California. Actually, where the Dixie Fire was, it took our town.
Oh,
In 2020.
so I'm so sorry to hear that one, because 2021, of course, that was just California wildfires were going everywhere, it's rampant. So did you even have any homes to sell? How did that go? Now, what was that process like, and everything too? I'd love to hear that story.
Okay, sorry, I lost internet connection for a second. What did you just say?
Sure, no worries, Cassie. Is that I'm hearing a lot of adversities, right? You're a new agent. You're in a rural town that caught on fire because of all that crazy California wildfires that we had in 2020, 2021, and such forth. So what made you keep on going and like realizing is real estate, the right decision for you?
Well, first of all, right when I got started, right within the first year and a half, COVID hit. So I honestly, I don't find things as a diversity. I'm not looking at things like, oh my gosh, this is going to be horrible. I saw that as an opportunity. People were showing up in my community because they wanted to get out of the city. So we were busier than ever up here. All of the agents here were crazy busy. I know everybody was, but people are trying to get out of the city and move up here, which what helped my career a lot. And I wasn't afraid of it. And then the Dixie Fire. So at that point, I was when the Dixie Fire happened, I started getting worried about my career, only because now I have like my town is gone. So I was a little bit concerned. I'm like, okay, well, what's my next move? What am I going to do next? I ended up changing my brokerage over to EXP.
Well, congratulations, by the way.
Yes, that's a great move. I was actually studying to get my broker's license right before the fire, and I was going to switch, and I was just going to be my own broker. Somebody told me about EXP. Well, you need to hear about EXP. EXP can, you don't have to be a broker. You can still get a team underneath you, and it's great. And I didn't understand it for a long time. And then finally, I came down to this point where I need to do one thing or the other. I got to move.
Hmm.
So I was ready to hear what EXP had to offer me. I didn't have to become a broker. I didn't have to have that liability over me, and I could still build a team underneath me. And that's what I
Yeah.
loved.
Because that's my power of leverage, right? Being a part of a company that will allow you to do that. Because I'm a real estate broker because I was in that same mindset too. It's like
Mhm.
I need to get my broker's license, and in order to do that, you had to take, of course, all these classes and such forth. But my vision at that time was to be able to open up my own brokerage, right? And then be able to have a team underneath me. And that's why I got my brokerage license. And then not realizing that because of the model, because of what EXP does, that we can grow exponentially much quicker without even having our broker's license. So that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that,
Absolutely,
Cassie.
yeah. That
Yeah.
was like my huge aha moment. Hey, this is the brokerage for me. This is where I need to be.
Yeah. So when you joined EXP wise, how many team members did you have at that time?
Right away, I had a brand new agent join with me. Like
Hmm.
right within a month, she got her license within a month of me moving over to EXP. So I was able to train her, I was able to, and she's now my business partner, which is pretty awesome. But
That is
now,
very cool.
yeah, so I've only been with EXP for 1 year now. October was 1 year. And I think I have 7 team members under me. We also joined forces with a whole nother EXP team. So now we have a team of like 12 of us. We are working together, meeting every week. So it's pretty fun.
Wow. Yeah, that's very cool. So from before you joined, yeah, you were pretty much a solo agent, and then you had someone on, and then within a year, you're up to 12. Wow. Partnership, and it's just alignment wise. And
Yeah.
could you share a little bit about that growth? And I know one thing had to happen and such forth, but what was that initial starter? What was
Well,
that
I,
for you?
I think honestly, what happened was when I switched over to EXP, all the agent, like some of the agents around here, saw that
Hmm.
I switched, and so they just started asking me why. And so I just gave them why I switched over, and it just made sense to them too. So
Yeah, and I know the biggest why that I'm hearing is definitely growth, right? You're, yeah, like you mentioned, you're in Northern California in a rural town that caught on fire, right? And then, but you were a disruptor, right? You were different than what other agents were doing. So, what was that like, and how are you so different from the other agents in your area?
I think as far as at the beginning when I first started, I kind of started seeing that social media was the way to go, and so I started
Mm,
just advertising my listings, not to any extent we're doing now, but more so than anybody else was, getting it out there, promoting who I am at the beginning. I think that was. Am I answering the right question?
well, no, yeah, definitely, because we want to know more about you, Cassie. We want to know what makes you tick and what got you out there. Because people are maybe potentially so used to the norm, right? What other average realtors do, and it got me thinking too, where your brokers laughed at you for having a goal of making $50,000 a year, because maybe that was I guess abnormal to make that much money and such forth, right, in that area. So you broke through. You're the disruptor, and just want to find out like what was your activities like. What were your driving force? How did you
Mm.
get to that point, right? Because you broke the I guess the norm, and everything there.
I mean, I don't really even have any systems in place yet, but I definitely just showed up. You just got to show up, work your business because nobody else is going to work it for you.
Mm.
And that's kind of my mind frame. I have the motivation. I go out to find clients. answer my phone. That's a big one. I answer my
Ugh.
phone when people call me, and I respond back right away if I can't answer the phone. And that's kind of just how I built my business, just answering the phone every time it rang.
Mm. So you must have a huge database then, right? Like tons and tons of people. Is
Well,
that what it
I
is?
do. I do. Yeah.
So So there's a little bit a secret right there, Cassie, is one, you pick up the phone, right, when people call, and then you're also reaching out to people, and you're doing what a lot of people are one fearful of doing is that it's a contact sport, right? Being able to reach out to your database, your sphere, your influences and such forth, and just to say what do you say, Cassie?
Well, I don't necessarily go out there and poach people, or
Mm-hmm.
I just always tell people, hey, I'm a real estate agent, and give them my card if I'm out and about and see people. Most people around here know who I am, but when I get phone calls, I just hear what they have to say. I hear what they want, hear what they need, write it down, and I research it for them.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, Wise. And from what it sounds like, Cassie, is you have a solid foundation. You mentioned that you don't have systems in place, but you actually do. Right? You're thinking
Yeah.
about it is your system is you're a people person.
Yeah.
That you're knowledgeable, right? You're accessible, and then that you're eager to share your experiences with other people, right? What makes you grow and such forth, and that's what attracted people to you, right? Your team members, your clients, your friends, and such forth is that, and then having systems in place is just something that's duplicatable for us, right? Whether we place 10, 20 calls a day, or we just make sure that we have lunch or a coffee with someone. That's a system that we have in place, right?
Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah.
like it.
No, very, very cool. So
Yeah.
one of the things that really drew me on that stage is that you were um, there was a little kind of like a shocker in the state, right? Where we know, according to NAR, National Association of Realtors, that the average real estate agent does roughly between 3 to 4 transactions, a year, 3 to 4. So
That's
your
great.
average, yeah, that's crazy, right? 3 to 4 transactions a year. And, for us, we know we can't survive on 3 or 4 transactions where, you and your team did over 100 transactions. And how did you go from like 0 to over 100?
So, and it wasn't even my team; it was my partner and I. Just my partner and I,
Mm.
not even my team. I don't even know what my whole team's done. I got to look that up. But we did 107, just the two of us.
Wow. Between the two
Transactions.
of
Yeah.
you in a small rural town that caught on fire. Wow, that's just a crazy story to think of that's even possible. Did you even have 50 homes to or
Yeah, right.
107 homes to sell?
It was a real it made me so happy to be able to help the people that needed housing at that
Mm,
moment find something to make them feel more secure. It super heartwarming to be able to serve my community that in that way. Some people didn't see it like that, but that's how I felt while I was doing it.
mm.
Some
Now, can you share with me one of those challenging situations with a client that you did, that you walked through that process with?
challenging,
Yeah.
not so much challenging, but exciting. I mean, it was exciting to see. I'm picturing a group of friends, and they all got into homes at the same time, and they were so excited to be part of that, and I was excited to share it with them.
Mm.
That I wouldn't say challenging, other than challenging and not being able to find homes around here, but it was fun to be able to be with them through that experience.
Got it. Yeah. So you and your partner definitely worked and maximized every opportunity that you got. So a question for you. So, how do you go and organize and manage all your leads and clients? Working because just the two of you being able to do 107 transactions, was it chaotic? How did you organize and manage all those clients?
Well, we ended up getting a transaction coordinator, and she helped us immensely. Once we got her in place to do that, then it let us focus on our clients and not focus on the paperwork, because there's so much paperwork to do in California.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. That was the one biggest help we had, is getting that transaction coordinator. And now we've hired a couple virtual assistants. So that's
Yay.
yay. So we're learning about that process.
So that's the one thing that I want to dive into a little bit too with you, is that you kind of went from we mentioned again, like, going from 0 to over 100, right? And you and your partner were primarily doing this, and then you hire your TC, definitely getting all the paperwork, because we know California is just such a litigious state. So we got to make sure that we had to cross our T's, dot our I's, and all the paperwork done. And the part that you just mentioned, and it's a little bit of that secret sauce with top producers, is leveraging people, technology, and systems. And you just hired a couple of virtual assistants and such forth. So congratulations on that to be leveraged. So how are you going to be utilizing, I guess, more staff with your virtual assistants?
Well, we're definitely going to have them work our CRM for us, because that's what's not organized in how we have been running it. We just kind of, so we're going to really work our lead source, have them work that process for us. We're going to let them do the social media aspect of our business. We're going to continue with our transaction coordinator, how we have her, but we might expand and need them to do transaction coordinating for us. So we're just trying to work it out right now, because it's all brand new to us. handing off the stuff that you can do well. Handing that off is kind of scary. So we're learning how to do that.
Yeah, because a lot of us are a little bit, I wouldn't say a control freak type of thing, but we're used to doing a lot of things ourselves, and be able to relinquish some of those tasks onto different people. Takes a lot of trust, right, and a lot of confidence in them to be able to accomplish it. But then, but the time that you get to free up to do the money making activities and such forth, that's just priceless. Amazing. I think you know a little bit, Cassie, too. I'm really leveraged. At one point, we had 8 virtual assistants working for us. We've been teetering, between 5 and 8, and we are hiring 2 more as well too. So I have a couple interviews scheduled for them, and I utilize my VAs for everything. just about. There's so much that I utilize them, and you mentioned one key part is CRM database, right? Being able to take care of that. And that's been a thorn for a lot of agents, and including myself. And one of the things that I'm doing is that we're dominating our database by leveraging a system, using technology, a actual CRM that works for us, instead of us having to work in it ourselves. And it does take a lot of time to get that set up and such forth. But when that is up and running, I could just, imagine how much more you can be doubling your business, because it sounds like every year you're going to double. So, 2023 will be absolutely amazing for you too with that.
Yeah. My business partner, came up with an amazing business idea. And so we're working on making that happen. So let's talk next year. We might have this amazing. Just kidding. We might have we will. We're getting all the systems and processes in order now to be able to grow our business, and we want to be able to share that with everybody.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yep.
Can we get a little? Can we hear a little sneak peek of what that
Not
like?
yet. Not until we know exactly what we're doing. But I'll definitely share with you. It's going to be big.
Oh,
Yeah.
excited.
After going to the mastermind in Tahoe, big ideas happened.
Yeah. No,
So
and for our audience that didn't know what that Lake Tahoe Mastermind is, we have an annual event that we attend, and it's absolutely gorgeous, right? It's in Lake Tahoe, beautiful scenery. But what's better is the conversations and ideas that come from it, right? When you get a group of like-minded people that want to grow and want to help others, just amazing things come out of it, and big ideas, right? So one of the things that Brent Gove, he was one of the keynote speakers of the event, and something that resonated with me was he mentioned you need. I guess it was kind of like going around with like, what do you need to invest in, right? And are you investing in, real estate? Or are you investing in whatever it is, right? But the biggest part that he mentioned was, are you investing in yourself? Are you putting all your resources in making yourself better? Are you constantly improving? And it sounds like that's what's happening with you, Cassie, and your team and your partner, is that you're taking this and you're growing, and I'm loving it, right? I love hearing it. And one of the things that I learned too is that in order for me to get better, I need to improve my circle, right? I need to be in better rooms, and and learning from yeah, from individuals or teams or amazing people that are doing things at a high level. So mastermind is one thing. And my question to you, Cassie, is like, what are you doing to invest into yourself? Are you attending certain events? What are some of those things that you're planning on doing?
yeah, so definitely after that, the mastermind, I'm I'm investing more in my spiritual my relationship with God,
Mm,
my time, daily time frame on my calendar, I guess. Get up,
yeah.
work out, read the Bible, do all that stuff. I learned that from the mastermind, that I'm not doing the stuff that makes successful people successful. So I'm working on that right now.
Yeah.
But that's a big
And
takeaway from that. But I'm also um, going to Krista Mayshore's training starting tomorrow. So it's an online training. It's 3 days. So I'm doing that tomorrow. We're going to all the events that we possibly can sign up for.
yeah. No, that's amazing. And you mentioned Krista too, and actually, I was supposed to be flying down south to attend their event, and
Right.
then
Yeah.
she switched it to digital because I'm on that same same thing
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. One of the things for us is we know we constantly have to evolve, right? In our line of business is where, we're striving to become better and better, and if we can just improve just 1 millimeter a day, right? Just a small little shifts in our business, it's going to produce amazing results. And it sounds like that's what's happening with you and your group, Cassie. And I do want to ask you too. You're mentioning changing certain routines, right? You're changing and improving stuff. Can you
Mm-hmm.
share with us a little bit of what you're planning on changing or what you're currently implementing?
Yeah. So I'm working on getting up at 5:30 in the morning, having a devotional, and then doing a workout every morning, then cleaning my house and getting it ready for the day. I want to be up and ready and showered and ready for my day by 8 o'clock every morning.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that you have to do to get to that 8 o'clock point. So that's what I have started implementing.
So like how a lot of us, or we see on the internet, on social media, there's a certain memes where there's like reality and expectations and reality, right? And part of it is like our expectations, like, yeah, I'm gonna be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna get my gym in, exercise in. I'm gonna do a little self help Bible study or some meditation, something to get us going. And then we're going to not touch social media, not touch our phone, not touch anything until whatever time, right? 8 o'clock
Yeah.
or something like that. So that time to ourselves. So it's sometimes easier to say than to actually
Then
complete
do.
it,
Uh-huh.
right? So what are those pitfalls that you see that prevents you from doing that?
My biggest pitfall is I don't want to get out of bed at 5:30. I just want to push snooze.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
it's
It's like
cold. I live up in the snow. I don't want to get out of bed. It's cold. But that's probably one of the hardest things for me.
okay. So just from the habits already, right? Just the
Mhm,
smallest of little things is just habit. Doing the first thing of just waking up.
mhm.
So what steps are you taking to ensure that you're waking up at 5:30 now?
Well, what started working for me is the night before, as I go to bed, just pump myself up. Just get up. Just jump up out of bed. As soon as the alarm goes, let's go. And so that's what I'm trying to do every night. Like, okay, just get up in the morning. You got
Yeah.
this. Start your day.
No, because you're right. You're using auditorial techniques where you're telling yourself this, right? And you're training and you're programming your mind and your body to be able to create this new habit that you want to accomplish. And what I'm hearing is that you're taking some time before the night before, right? And then you're also telling your body when the alarm hits, you're up, you're out, you're not lingering in bed and such forth. And you're
Mhm.
creating those habits. So I'm loving this. I'm because I struggle too with that, right? My goal is to wake up at 5 o'clock every morning. And most days I do wake up at 5. Some days, it's a little tougher than others. But what I'm consciously trying to do is visualize and visualizing that moment that I walk out of bed, I get out of bed, I'm seeing that, and I know that's happening. So that my mindset knows that I'm trying to get up, it's a lot easier for me to get going that way. Yeah, does that make sense? Kind of
Yeah,
like you can
absolutely. Yep.
visualize and you're telling yourself, you're visualizing yourself, and then now it's just a program that you're just programming yourself waking up at 5.
Yep.
So loving that. All right. So for someone that may be interested on joining, your team or being a part of what you do, what's something that you can kind of like share with us that makes people want to join you or join your team? What is that kind of like superpower or highlight that you
Well,
have there?
I don't know. So this year I've focused on being of service to people. That's
Mm,
like my word of the year, right? Service. So I want to be of service to anybody who wants to join my team. I want to be there, be present for you, and walk you through the steps that you need. Um, as opposed to being like hands off, I want to be part of it.
no, that's amazing. You're going to help guide any new team members, being a part of their lives, and you're a very passionate person, and I love that. So I have this little thing where kind of like towards the end of our interview, I want people to get to know you. So it's kind of like a little rapid fire questions and everything.
Okay.
And just quick, are you ready for that?
Okay. All right. All right. I'll try.
All right. We'll do some softball type of things. So currently, what are your hobbies and interests then? What do you like to do?
Oh, well, I like to work. That's I do. I love working. I love my job. I love investing in properties. I'm an investor as well.
So awesome.
That's one of my hobbies.
Cool. So making money, working hard, good investments. And so tell me a little bit, where did you grow up at?
I grew up in Huntington Beach, Southern California.
SoCal weather. Definitely
Yeah.
nice, hot, and warm and sunny year round. And then now you're up in the snow.
Yep.
Very cool.
Big
So
change.
what was your first job that you ever had?
I worked at a pet store.
Awesome. Favorite pet?
Monkey. Well, not well. That animal, I guess. Monkey.
Favorite animal? Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, if you were to describe yourself in 3 words, what would that be?
Outgoing, maybe a little annoying. Just kidding. And probably overextended.
Hmm.
Mm,
It sounds like getting leverage with your VAs will help you,
yes.
yeah, with
Yes.
that one. So
Yep.
awesome. Okay, last question for you. So if you're not working and you're not investing in, like an Airbnb or properties or anything like that, how do you like to spend your free time?
I love to travel, and absolutely travel. That's what I would do on my free time.
Okay, so what's one place that you've never been that you want to travel this year?
I want to go to Belize.
Belize?
Hmm.
Is that right?
Yep.
Oh, so what is it
Yeah.
about Belize that you enjoy or you
Um,
want to do?
I just want to explore the San Pedro Islands and just explore everything that Belize has to do. Sit on the beaches and that kind of stuff.
Awesome. Thank you. So here's our plan for next year. So next year, we're going to be doing our interview in Belize and sharing
Mm,
the amazing thing that you're going to do and you can share all the successes and the trial tribulations and such forth with it. Sounds
that's
like a
awesome.
good plan?
Absolutely.
All right. So if you guys want to keep in touch with Cassie and everything and find out more what she's doing, links will be provided. And stay tuned for our next podcast and such forth. So thank you again for joining us on See No Win Live. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cassie.